learning to live without devices. That's really was an interesting part of all of this too. It really makes you realize how tapped into electronics they are. Like so much of their
that's
world.
all they know.
That's all they know. Yeah.
No, I mean, we're a little.
Some kids don't read books anymore. They have their books all on Kindles and other devices too.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading books by candlelight, George Washington style. I mean,
you were.
I went from rock and lifestyle to Amish lifestyle. I was just like,
that's a good line.
You know,
Amish lifestyle. But
I had no choice.
Be a good hook, yeah.
By default.
But no, I was going to say about like how the, I don't know if there's a lesson to be learned in all of that, because some people, I don't think I've ever said this on my show, but I actually don't have a television. just weird.
No, you have a television.
I don't have a television.
Well, how do you watch all those documentaries and shows? A computer?
Through my computer, yeah.
Okay. Because then it's like my situation.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have a television.
Well, yeah, it's different. When you don't have a television and you don't have cable TV, you're cut off from a certain thing. But when I made that decision to not have television in our house, it was like, it didn't matter because the kids can watch endless episodes of whatever they want as long as it's available on the website of the cable channel, right?
Yeah.
Or on Netflix or on Hulu.
I'll tell you, I've never missed Netflix so much in my entire life, man. I had a Netflix withdrawal, and that was, I actually missed Netflix more than electricity and gas. I mean, in hot and heat. I really did. Heat, because when Halloween came around, I'm used to having horror movies on, like part of my childhood, just having that scary milieu, it was, even if I wasn't participating, that was still part of like my holiday, and it was not there at all, 0%.
Right. Well, it was scary in your house, right?
Well, it was scary in the real world, but I don't need I don't need real world scariness. It
could have been scary walking out of your house at any given time of night. It was so dark in your neighborhood, it was creepy.
I know, honestly, that gives me an idea to create a horror movie, a day after the hurricane when, like, they could totally, because, I mean, it was pitch black, and there were cops coming up and down the street, flashing lights. Get back in your house. Oh, we had a 7 p.m. curfew for the city.
That was another thing that was unusual for kids.
For kids, for everybody.
For everybody, yes. But no, I'm trying to slant the show towards like, not just our experience as adults, but like how how it impacted kids. Yeah, and that was weird for kids.
Well, I was going to say also, not to interrupt, but just so everybody knows.
But you interrupted.
I did. So my daughter wasn't. My 10-year-old daughter, almost 11-year-old daughter, wasn't with me the whole time. She was with her mother. She was supposed to stay with me, but are you actually checking your phone while we're filming a show? Okay. See, talk about like the attachment to electronic devices.
This is important. Go ahead, I'm listening.
So anyway, I didn't have my daughter for 10 days because I had no power and heat, and my ex-wife, luckily, got it back after a few days. So I'm glad for that. I give a shout out to my wife.
Let me ask you this. A couple of people said that in Jersey City, power returned to the more affluent neighborhoods first. Do you think that's true?
You know what? I thought that maybe, but we always try to. We want to create a reason for something. Even when we don't know, we want an answer. We're going to try to figure out, especially if you're going stir crazy for freaking a week with no power. But it's not true, because down by Paulus Hook they didn't have power. And
Port Liberté.
And those are
didn't have power.
That's where the money, a lot of the money really is concentrated. So I don't think so.
I didn't think that made any sense, but
no. But I will say one thing. When I was standing in line getting gas with the containers, I felt the kind of racism towards the line, the people in the line, compared to the people in cars.
Oh, come on.
No, I really did. And I was there. And you know me, I'm not like that. I'm not one of those people that...
Wait, so what was the
Well, because
sentiment?
we were only allowed to... Like, one pump was open.
Right.
Cars were allowed to go to both gas stations, but we were only allowed to go to one pump at
both
one station. And then there was a woman, there was an African-American woman, a really lovely lady who was taking... She got so mad, she was taking videos and saying, why are we standing here? And the line is moving so slow. They were speaking down. Some of the law enforcement were kind of speaking down to the line, like, don't get excited, talking to this group. like we were going to do something wrong.
I don't understand what the distinction would be.
Well, as soon as she...
people who don't have cars?
Well, let me explain. What happened was, as soon as she started filming and getting in people's... interviewing, you know, why aren't you letting the people in this line get gas? Why are we only going to one pump out of like 10 pumps in 2 stations? They all of a sudden opened up. After 3 hours, opened up the other pumps.
Okay, but so why would there be a bias against people who came on foot? All those people have cars.
Because the people on foot, I can't explain it. I wish I could have taken a picture. It was, you know, I think it was...
So it looked like the haves and the
have-nots?
Yes,
it did. It really did.
But that doesn't make any sense, because there were plenty of people online who just knew, because the word that went out was that you got your gas quicker if you went with a canister. That's what went out online. No, it was the complete opposite.
Oh,
well, that's probably why.
And I had never experienced anything like that before. I was actually a part of that. You know what I mean? I got to see some kind of... I believe it was some kind of discrimination going on. You know, like all these people, you know,
line
they can wait.
Discrimination.
No, I mean, listen.
And it was not
if I filmed
race or creed or anything.
No, it was a little bit of a race thing, you know? Or maybe like
it was a class thing.
A class thing.
That's how you're presenting it, and I don't think that that doesn't make any sense.
Well, you know, if I could have filmed it, you would have been like, okay, I see what's going on.
I'm just saying that doesn't make any sense, only because the people with canisters also had cars and probably had just as much means as anybody in the line.
Well, that would be the real answer, but that's not how it was perceived.
But that's not how it was perceived. Okay.
Yeah. So,
I see what you're saying.
And you know me, I never do the race thing. I mean, I never talk about that, but I actually experienced that. So I want to give a shout out to that nice lady. The lady's name was Sylvia, and she was from...
I'm sure she's watching.
No, she, you know, this is a cable TV show in Jersey City.
Ah!
Sylvia, thank you so much for doing that. Seriously, so...
All right.
It was a nice sense of community. We're laughing.
You can write to him at...
You can write to me at pistol@rockinlifestyle.com. PISTOL at rockinlifestyle.com.
I'll make a trailer
that
goes across the bottom, because I'm good that way with After Effects.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what our timing is. Oh. And we're back. So, yeah, so we're still talking about how the hurricane impacted our community, our city, how it impacted children who have businesses, of course. Well, that's our community, I guess. But, you know, kids who have never seen anything like this before, how sort of scary it was for them. It's also scary for them to see grown-ups unable to make things better, to fix it, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. We couldn't really...
we couldn't make it better.
We couldn't do anything. We just kind of had to just do what we could and wait it through. I'm sure that's really hard
for like really little kids who are just like, "Mommy, turn on the lights," kind of thing. You know?
But you know, sometimes kids are so little they don't even really know.
That's true. On one hand,
it kind of just goes over.
Another thing I noticed was that a lot of families were starting to live more like the farm lifestyle, and what I mean by that is going to bed when it got dark.
Yeah, like we did, 7 o'clock every night. You know?
And waking up.
Very productive. I mean, I've read like 20 books.
Good for you. I certainly didn't do that.
I think my IQ went up a little bit, and I'm not even joking. I read books on writing and reading, and cool. I tucked into my library. I picked up books I hadn't opened up in years. So that was pretty cool. But you were mentioning the social media. Being
I think that was such a key part of all of that. The ability to connect with people using social media really helped a lot of people out. For example,
gas stations, knowing which gas stations
had gas and had fewer lines. I saw a million messages of just like, where is their milk? Where are their eggs? Like essentials that people needed. People being able to point, and the other thing was like, you know, just the sense of helping people out. Like, how many people offered you a place to stay, showers, like whatever it is that you know they thought you needed.
I was in no emergency situation whatsoever. I had people like hitting me up constantly. Hey, you need this and that.
Did you take advantage of that?
No, I didn't, because I mean, I had hot water, I had clothes. I just really needed a place to charge my phone to stay in communication with other people. But what was cool was one of the places we went to was a restaurant cafe called Ninth and Coles. And they were one of the first places to open up and serve food.
Right.
And I saw on Facebook that they had opened, and they were like, we're doing, you can charge your phone,
there you go.
we'll give you this. And so we knew to go there. It was the first place we went. So that was a really good thing. And another thing is, I mentioned on Facebook that I was trying to entertain people the whole time, keep them in good spirit, not ignore the situation, but just make them laugh. And one of the things was that the humor and just interacting with people kind of kind of ameliorated the fear. Ameliorate, covered it up, you know.
Did you get that from your vocabulary.com?
No, I know. You don't know ameliorate?
Ameliorate?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Bandaged, like temporarily.
Ameliorate. Wow.
You're a writer. You should.
That's not a word I've ever used.
Well, I use it because it's not a fix, a true fix, but it's just like a temporary bandage.
I'll look it up for a second.
So,
okay, we're back.
All right, yeah. She trusts me, and if not, everyone on here could talk about how much I don't know the vocabulary.
No, I'm just curious. Go on.
So anyway, the thing is, I was trying to give people some hope and just lighten the situation a bit, and
and
a lot of people that I mean, it helped people communicating and knowing, okay, so and so is all right, and it helped. It would be scary without having contact with anybody.
Improve, make better, mend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
very good.
I told you I read my library.
Can you see it?
Is it backwards in the camera?
I don't know. It looks backwards.
It's spelled with an E.
It's spelled with an A.
No, I know.
Oh, you're saying because it's backwards.
Yeah.
It's like the name Emilio with an A.
With an A. Emilio Estevez.
Emilio.
So so I really think the social media was a huge help. It was very.
Oh yeah, I was going to say something else.
Conducive. That's a real word too.
Yes, conducive. Conducive for communication.
Yes.
No, yeah, there were a lot of great stories like that. There were these high rises up in one part of Jersey City that had no electricity for a long time, and one of them had only senior citizens in it. And so there were people on the upper floors who didn't have water, who didn't have food, who were cold. I mean, it was crazy. But using social media, information went out to a larger group, like not even like an organized volunteer effort, went out to a larger group, and that was like, hey, we need help up here. And then before you knew it, people were taking buses, riding their bike, getting there whatever way they could, and helping out. They said that the building management and the super and so forth, they were just overwhelmed. They were like, it took us all day to try and go door to door, and now we've like completed all of this in a couple of hours. That also, I just wanted to say that a lot of kids are encouraged to donate toys and so forth to kids who are just, displaced from their homes and lost a lot of things. So so that's another way to get your kids involved in a way that can be helpful and can ameliorate the situation.
Ameliorate the situation and to dampen the effects of the fear and pain. Yeah. All
right, I think we need to wrap it up. That was I think that's 30 minutes.
So we hope you're all well, Jersey City, and if you need anything, well, actually, if you don't have power, you're not going to be seeing this.
This is going to like air long after. People are going to be like, "What hurricane is?"
Like, what are you talking about?
No, I'll try and get this on the air very quickly, but.
So I hope everybody's well and taken care of, and
yes,
FEMA. Maybe you can get your.
We'll do another show on FEMA itself and the effects on our city, what we need and what we're getting.
Yeah.
Apparently, Mayor Healy has made some good connections and is able to get a lot of help for our city.
And Steve Fulop has been incredible
Steve
as well.
Steve Fulop
is the man.
Yes, he really has been. So responsive. I mean, a lot of people were like, "Where the hell is Mayor Healy?" But apparently, Mayor Healy was very busy.
I was one of those.
You were?
People.
No, apparently he was super busy from like you know, all day long. I just don't think he had like the social media means
like
to like
Steve Fulop
did to be really out
there. He didn't have the savvy.
That's an interesting lesson for a politician, especially someone who's running for office again. Just the idea.
Well, Steve Fulop's like 30 years younger than Mayor Healy. He's like my age.
You're right.
So he's like.
So that's
he's got that younger.